What's up, guys? Average Kiwi Guy here. How y'all doing? So we got yet another day of E3 2018, and we started off with Square Enix, and it was a very short conference, if you would even call it that. I wouldn't even say it's that. It's like basically someone pushed play on a presentation, and that was it. It wasn't much at all. I think it was under 30 minutes. It really was, and I got up at 5 a.m. for that. But I mean, it's E3 and I love this shit, so it's all worth it. The big thing is like a lot of the stuff we knew they had. It's a lot of stuff we had seen before. There were a couple of surprises there, but there was a lot of stuff where we were like, yeah, we know this is a thing. Yeah, we know that's a thing. But how about like, the Avengers stuff that you're doing? The Marvel stuff, like you got anything there? You know, then it's like that just blind hope of maybe mentioning Final Fantasy the 7 remake. But that ain't happening. And if it was going to happen, that will probably happen at Sony. And then like, I like Final Fantasy 14, so I was maybe hoping for expansion or something and all this stuff. So there's a couple of surprises there that we'll get into. Stuff that I'm kind of looking forward to, but we'll break it down. We'll go through it. First up, they had Shadow of Tomb Raider. They showed some gameplay and stuff, some stealth gameplay. Honestly, it's a lot of stuff that we've just seen before. Like, I think that's kind of the problem with Tomb Raider now. Is like it's very generic. I've played the last two. This one looks very similar. The only thing that really entices you in is maybe story wise, but that's about it. I mean, it was a lot of stealth stuff, and it wasn't anything new in any way. Like, I didn't see anything new. Like, except, like, putting mud on yourself and stuff. Like, they had some blow dart things and all that. But it's all stuff we've seen in other games before. So, it wasn't anything too exciting. It wasn't anything too, like, oh my god, I really want to buy this game. We'll see on that one. Like, plus we'd seen, some trailers for this prior, so it wasn't a big surprise. It really wasn't. It was a pretty just average start to it. It really was. Then we got a video for Final Fantasy XIV. It was just patch stuff. It's a new, big patch for Final Fantasy XIV called Under the Moonlight. I think it's some raid stuff, maybe some dungeon stuff and story stuff. Pretty typical for Final Fantasy XIV between expansions. You have these big sort of story patches as you go through that sort of lead up to the expansion that comes out. So that was the thing. I haven't played 14 in a while, but I do like it. I think it's a really good MMO. I recommend it to anyone. It's actually really cool. Especially the expansion stuff. The expansion stuff's actually really interesting and really cool. If you're into that Final Fantasy stuff. Then they had like a sort of crossover thing with Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter World, and I love me some Monster Hunter. And what we've been seeing a lot with the Monster Hunter stuff is that things going into Monster Hunter World, like outfits and things like that. This time it's actually Monster Hunter stuff going to another game. By the looks of it, it's maybe like emotes or like health stuff and all that, like different things, like accessory things going to Final Fantasy 14 from Monster Hunter World, like drinking the potions and stuff they showed. And then it's also, well, either could be a hunt, which I imagine is a hunt, so it's like kind of like a world boss, like imagine that's what it is. Of you actually fight Rathalos, which is kind of cool, and it was very much like a pretty spot on like Monster Hunter World Rathalos. Like it doesn't look very different. So yeah, if you play Monster Hunter, if you're playing Final Fantasy 14 and you're a Monster Hunter fan, you get to fight Rathalos in Final Fantasy 14. So, yeah, some people were thinking like, oh, it's a raid. Like it's probably not a raid. It's a hunt. Like Monster Hunter, Rathalos. It fits pretty well. So I'd imagine it's a world boss. At least a fate. At least, like at the very least, like that's probably not even enough for it. Potential. I don't know if it could. It might be a trial. maybe. I don't know. But it's something interesting, something cool, something different. The Final Fantasy 14, like especially if you play that game day in and day out, like you're always looking for something new, so that's cool. Then we got some stuff about the Adventures of Captain Spirit. From the Dotnog guys. That's free, by the way. That's free coming in June, and it's a story. So they described it as like we want to be telling these stories in this expanding universe, and the guys actually sat down and just sort of talked it out a little bit. And apparently this thing could actually link into Life is Strange season 2, which is interesting. So if you really are into Life is Strange and all that, you probably should be playing this too. So, see where the links are. They're like, if you can, you got to hunt for them. They are there, but you got to hunt for it. So, those completionist people, they'll be all over that. But yeah, they kept saying like, hey, we really want to have a lot more of these stories. It's not just this small group, in this one town. We want to expand it. We want to, tell a whole bunch of different stories. So this could be more of a regular thing. I don't know if it's always going to be free, but but I don't know. I mean, I don't know. It's a pretty cool thing though. Like to give out this content for free like that. Just sort of. I know it's maybe like a bit of a taste. The first one's free, then you get them hooked type thing, but. I don't know, it looks pretty cool. Like, I think if you're really into Life is Strange, and this is going to be, something that you're really keen on. And it's good news for the people that love that series and stuff, because, clearly you're going to get far more of it. And they, pretty much, I'm pretty sure it was confirmed anyway, but they pretty much confirmed the next Life is Strange as well. So that's some cool things there. Dragon Quest XI had a trailer there, just sort of showing it all off. I'm not big into Dragon Quest. I've never really gotten into those games, so I can't speak to it. It's not my thing. But I do like a good JRPG. Like that is a bit of my jam as well. But I just never got into Dragon Quest. It wasn't a thing. It wasn't a thing for me. But apparently that's pretty big. It's coming. It's got a release date, which is always good. September 4th. So coming sooner than I think a lot of people probably expected, which is awesome. Coming this year. It's always a good thing. Then probably the game of this like little presentation that Square Enix sort of showed off for me. Like it's very vague, but the fact of like who's making it really like got me interested in it. It's a new game from Platinum, and I love me some Platinum games. Those are the guys. They made Metal Gear Rising, Revengeance and stuff. They made Nier. They make so many good games. And this seems to be another one that they're making with Square Enix called Babylon's Fall. I'm going to do another video on this, like a real more in-depth video, and we're going to get into the trailer and stuff and really look at it. But it kind of had this little bit of like a biblical type sort of vibe to it. But right at the end, they sort of showed a cinematic thing where basically like it was a knight on the ground. And there's like this sort of guardian thing, and the knight had this sort of like light whip thing that come out of his head and grab the sword and cut the thing down. And then right at the end, it shows these 4 like knights, like the one that cut the guardian down, standing in front of a giant tower. So maybe that's like the Tower of Babylon or something. So everyone's like going like, oh, what type of game is this? And like I heard stuff like maybe, people thinking like maybe Dungeon Runner stuff. Maybe it's stuff like Let It Die, where you're sort of going up floors and you get loot and stuff. And as you go further and further, but when you die, you go back to the bottom. Some even said maybe it's like Destiny in a way. If it's a Platinum game, it's going to have badass combat in it. It's going to have fast-paced, badass combat. Obviously it's got a magical element to it. It's definitely going to be related to that tower. So I imagine going up floors and going up, and that goes up in difficulty and stuff like that. I don't know if it'll be like, floors and then with a boss in it, and then you go up, and once you beat the boss, you go up to the next level, stuff like that. But I'm just psyched there's a Platinum game. It's a brand new Platinum game. Love it. I like the look of the style. Even if it's like maybe a tower like Dark Souls game, but with co-op and stuff. Imagine that. That would be cool. Like a Dark Souls like game with Platinum combat and all the rest of it, Platinum story and all that. with co-op and all and everything. Imagine that. Like that would be some crazy shit. So I'm into that. That looks really, really cool. I'm gonna do a video on it and really get into the trailer and stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Then we had the near Xbox release that was done at Microsoft as well. Octopath Traveler, that's coming in like a month. Like it's almost pretty much to the day, a month away. That game looks really cool. Like I love the art style of it. I love the concept of it that you got these 8 different characters, so there's a lot of replayability to it, and that really affects how you play the game and stuff like that. We've seen it over the past sort of 3 E3s now, really. It looks very cool. It looks very, very cool, and I've loved it more and more. There was a free trial on the Switch and stuff, which went down really well. So, no, I'm looking forward to it. Just Cause 4, they had their thing. Of course, we knew Just Cause 4 was coming. We also saw a trailer at Microsoft as well. That's the problem with the Square Enix like presentation. We had seen a lot of this stuff prior. We knew a lot of this stuff was there. It was the stuff that we were kind of hoping might be there was the like intriguing thing, but that didn't really turn out. They kind of went more into like what they've done to improve the game and all the rest of it. They went into more about the actual grappling hook stuff. They've added like extra links onto it so you can grapple more stuff together, like flotation stuff, rocket boosters, and all the rest of it. So you can do crazy shit with your grappling hook now. And they're just sort of more going about the weather. Like they have like we've seen the tornado, but there's like sandstorms, lightning storms, and all this stuff. They went more into the actual place where you're going to. It was like this fictional sort of South American place. And yeah, they've sort of went in a bit more about the mechanics of what they've done. I mean, it's Just Cause. It's Just Cause. Like if you're really into those games, that's cool. To me, it's like you just drive around, ride around, fly around, blowing shit up in the most creative ways possible. Like that's pretty much it. So if you're into that stuff, that's cool. That's cool. Then probably the weirdest one out of this whole thing, The Quiet Man. Apparently this is gonna be like a live action / video game hybrid. So it's kind of going back to the days of those types of games where you did have this quite a bit. There was a lot of live action stuff. And apparently this can be done in like one sitting. So it's going to be a bit of a experience thing. It's not going to be like just like 10-hour plus game. This is going to be like maybe 2 at the max, I'd imagine. Just the amount of effort and the like filming and stuff that goes into like the live action part. I can't imagine that. Apparently it's going to be about a sort of like deaf crime fighting dude by the looks of it. Like all the trailer was this guy walks into the alleyway. He has his bag. The guy's like yelling like, "Yo, you're in the wrong place, in the wrong address. I don't order any food or anything like that." And he's like so we're assuming he can't hear, and they sort of made it seem that way. Then he just proceeded to beat them up, and that was it. So yeah. It was weird. It was weird as hell. We'll see what comes of it. We'll see what comes of it. It's definitely something different. It's definitely something different. So you are into that sort of live action game type crossovers. You might be in for a treat there. But we'll keep an eye on it. We'll see what it actually turns out to be. But then Kingdom Hearts 3, and this was pretty much just like re-showing what they had shown at Microsoft. It was just a bit more, I think it was a bit more of an expanded trailer, or extended trailer, I should say. A few little extra scenes and stuff. That trailer is still weird though, man. Like it really wants to highlight a song, so it takes away all the actual sound effects of things when the game like hits. There's like a giant fist and Goofy and Donald stop it, but it makes no sound because they want to emphasize the song and stuff. Look, I'm really excited for Kingdom Hearts. Like, I'm gonna play it when it comes out. Like, this has been a long time coming. But this is the second time we've seen this trailer, and if it shows up again for a third time at Sony, it's like, okay, guys, that's enough. Like, we've seen it enough. We know Frozen's in it. We know freaking Elsa's in it. Like, give it a rest. So yeah, it wasn't anything like, oh my god, it's Kingdom Hearts. Like, If you wanted that, you should have saved it, and also saved the fact, announcing its release date to this actual presentation, not the day before Microsoft, the night before Microsoft's one, and then showing the trailer at Microsoft. So yeah, that was a bit disappointing. But I mean, apart from a couple of bright spots, really, through the middle there, it was a rather just. It was a presentation. It wasn't a conference. It wasn't, basically the only human interaction we really had was a couple of devs that were videoed. This was all pre-done. It wasn't anything like live. It was all pre-done. And also the CEO at the start, and it was okay. Like, but if a lot of this could have just you could have just released trailers. You really could have, or you could have done this at other places. Like, I'm sure Xbox would have taken half those games. They like quantity. They like more things. Sony, I'm sure, would have taken some, but I guess they want their own little special time. I just don't think it was worth me waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning to watch it. But hey, it's E3, and I'm loving it. And it's a big day today. It is a big day today. Next up, we got Ubisoft. We'll be all over that. And I think next up, we got Ubisoft, then the PC gaming show, and then right after that, it's Sony. And then the following tomorrow, obviously, even earlier than today, we got Nintendo. So we got some big guns still to come. I really love it. This is a good time. I love E3. But yeah. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Like I said, we've been all over E3. We got a ton of videos up on the channel crossing a whole bunch of different games. Sort of picking and choosing my games that I really really want to get into and discuss. And then we're also doing wrap-ups of the actual conferences themselves. So go on, check the channel out, see if you can see anything you like, all the rest of it. If you do find stuff, hit that subscriber button. I'd appreciate it. We're sort of pushing it for that 1,000. So if you like, hit that subscriber button. And yeah. Alright guys, I'm going to go get some sleep, and I'll catch you later. Peace. Bye.